Hello and welcome back. We're in day 15. I hope you completed the video where I discussed selectors in DataWeave. If not, please go through it before you go through this video because I will be using selectors in this video. Fine. In this video, we'll understand how to use various important functions in DataWeave like map function to iterate over an array. And we will see various syntaxes like when to use dollar, 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 and other important functions like order by, mean by, max by, etc. And not only this, we'll see some best practices. Actually, this video is very important. Please don't skip any part of this video because I'm going to talk some best practices. I'm going to talk about the approach when you're given with a specific task, how to approach, right? Various best practices you are going to discuss. I'm going to discuss. So please don't miss single part of this also. And after this video, you have a good exercise where you'll practice and you'll get confidence. Fine. Let us see how to iterate over the data. Fine. So for this purpose, let me create a new project. I'll create a new Mule project with name mapping. Fine. I'll close all the other files. Now, in my GitHub repository for day 15, there is a sample file, products.xml. I'm going to use this as my sample file. So I'll copy it to src main resources. Let me show you this XML file. See, this root tag is products belonging to this namespace. And there are a lot of product tags. How many products are there? There are products with ID 1 to 6. There are 6 products. This is a sample file which I'm going to use so that I can show you all transformations. Very good scenario. So let me drag and drop a listener. As usual, I'll configure it to listen on port 8081 / mapping. Okay. Then I'm expecting this XML to come as body whenever a request comes. Then I want to transform it. I will drag and drop transform message component. And you can see on the left side, input metadata. As the left side to transform messages HTTP listener, you can see the attributes related to HTTP listener. But the payload metadata is not defined because we don't know. In post, there can be any payload which is coming. But we know what we are expecting. We are expecting something similar to products.xml. So I can define the metadata. Add. I just write products XML as a name. I know that this is an XML file, so I will select XML. I don't have XML schema, but I have this example. I will select it under src main resources. Okay, so it identified the structure of the XML and it showed me. I will select it. So it is resolving the metadata. Now you can see payload contains products. Products contain multiple product. Okay, I will switch on the preview and I will turn this output to application/DW. Now simply I will write payload. Now see, XML is nothing but equivalent to an object in DataWeave. The root tag becomes the single key. In this object, external object, there is only single key. Products belonging to this namespace. Here you can see on the top above dash namespace declaration is done. And this tag products belong to this namespace. And you can see for each tag, product tag name is a key. This is the value. Actually, XML, when converted to DW, XML is equivalent to an object in DataWeave. Object contains key value pairs, right? Key is nothing but the tag name. Tag body is a value. So there can be nested tags like that. There can be nested keys as well, right? So now I want to select the value of the key products. So I will write dot products. Actually, if I am selecting a key belonging to namespace, see what is happening if I select. Oh, it looks like the same thing came twice, is it? This is a bug in transform message. Once I select any key belonging to namespace, it appears 2 times. This is a bug. So what I will do is I will click my cursor outside of transform message and click again here. Now that repeated lines are gone. Fine. Whenever you want to select a key belonging to a namespace, you can see that a namespace is declared, and here you have to use this syntax while selecting a key belonging to namespace. But in this entire XML, if there is only single namespace, you don't need to use namespace selector like this. Just dot is sufficient. You don't need this. But in your XML, if there are multiple namespaces, then you need to explicitly write namespace declarations like this. In my XML, whatever I gave as input, there is a single namespace, so no need to give. So to make it simple, I'm directly using dot products. Okay. In this object, you can see this is one key and this is the entire value. Again, this key, this is entire value. So the key name is same product. As you know, if I use dot product, I will get only the value of the first key. But I want all the values for this key product. As you know, I can use multi-value selector dot star product. So I got array of all products. Okay. So now the best practice is actually I'm going to write bigger expression. Don't write a big expression directly. Always divide and conquer. See how I'm going to approach. I wrote this expression. I got array of products. I'm going to store it in a variable where products is equals to. So intermediate result, I'm storing it in a variable, and then I'll start using this variable. Now the logic will be very clean. Okay. Now, this is the array of product. Each product is like this. I want to iterate over each item in this array and map each item differently. So if you want to iterate over an array and map each item differently, there is a function called as map. Let me see what is the syntax of this map function. You can see map function has 2 arguments. It is taking 2 arguments. First argument is of type array, which contains type T, array of T. Then second argument, we call it as a mapper function. It is a function which will take current item and index. And if this mapper function is returning R, something else, return value will be array of R. Hey, what do I mean? Let us see step by step. So first argument to map is array. Second argument is a function which will take item comma index. Okay. As you know, if function is taking 2 arguments, I can use first argument space function name, second argument. Second argument is a function which takes item comma index, and I can return something. I will just return hello for each item. Let us see what is the output. Whatever this function is returning. See here, treat it like a function call. first argument and second argument. In this case, second argument is a function, a criteria function, a mapping function, we say. So this function is mapping each item to this one. So I'm getting array of all this. Now, if I say item simply, I'll get array of each item. So what map function will do? Map function will iterate over each item in this array and call this function. Whatever this function is returning, you'll get array of all those values. Now, I don't want to return all this entire array of products. I want to select only brand names. See, I got brand name. So I'm mapping an array of products to array of strings, array of brand names in this case. Okay, so what I will do is right now, I will map it to empty object. See, so array of empty. Now here what I want is each product is having brand name, description, all right. I want PID colon item. See, this is a function. Item represents the entire object. Item dot product ID. So map function, as I said, it will iterate over each product and call this function. Current item in the array will be passed here. Normally, we use item comma index. I can give here product comma index. While writing the expression, I can use product. So here in this case, each item is a product, right? I can give my own variable name. So normally, whenever we are iterating over items in an array, we use item. Let it be. I'll follow the standard item. Of course, I can name it as product to make it more meaningful while writing. Fine. Comma. I want brand name. Item dot brand name. See, I'm getting. So I'm mapping an array of objects to however I want with only few fields. Fine. I also wanted name. Item dot name. And I also want original price. I will write here price. Price item dot original price. Fine. I have done the mapping. Fine. Very nice. Now, am I using index here? While actually writing the mapping logic, am I using index? No, right? So if I don't want to use the second argument, I can just remove it. Still, this is a valid syntax. But I will show you when to use index. So what I want is, for each object, I want product to be the key. So what I can do, I can write product colon. For each object, key is product and value is this one. Product value is this one. Fine. Now, what I want is, I want to use index also right now. So I will use comma index. How to use index is, for this key first product, I want product 0. For this, I want product 1. The index I want to concatenate. So I will try to use plus index. First thing is, whenever you are using plus, you can concatenate strings, right? So I will make this product as a string. Now let us see what happens. Still it is an error. Actually, whenever you are writing a key has to be static. if you want key also to be evaluated dynamically, because here it is an expression, right? If you want key to be evaluated dynamically, then let us say I will wrap this inside a parenthesis. We call it as evaluation parenthesis. When you wrap your key inside evaluation parenthesis like this, that means you are telling the key also has to be evaluated. Otherwise, by default, key will be treated as a string. Okay. Now you can see product 0, product 1, product 2 like this, right? Here we used index. Of course, suppose if I want product 1, product 2, what I could do is +1 I can add. See, maybe parenthesis is very important so that you'll not get confused. See, first is product 1, product 2 like this. Fine. Now the thing is, whenever you are writing lambda anonymous function, these are the anonymous function or lambda arguments, function arguments. What if I don't want to give argument names? Here in this case, my function is taking two arguments, item and index. What if I don't want to give argument names? There is a shortcut actually. I don't want to give the name of the arguments to this function. I will delete it. So what I can do is, wherever I'm using first argument is item, right? I could replace it with $. Here also I will replace it with $. Second argument is what? Index. You have to replace it with $. Now you can see that I eliminated the lambda argument names. By default, $. Is the first argument, $$ is the second argument. But the problem actually here is, as I told you earlier also, if you're seeing map function being used like this, you feel like this is a syntax. You will never get a feeling that second argument to map is a function. And your thinking also will go in a different way. I wanted you to start thinking in functional programming style. Everything is a function. So using this $$ syntax looks to be easy, but you will not think in a proper way. And somebody reading this code also might not be comfortable. So I recommend not to use this $$ and $$. Please, we'll go back to the previous syntax. Now it is very clear. See, map function, the second argument to map function is a map. The second argument to map function is a function which takes item comma index, and if it is returning R, this map function will return array of R's. This is the one, right? Map, this entire thing is a function. I defined it as a anonymous function, a function which is taking two arguments directly here, right? So to make it more meaningful, I will indent it like this so that you'll see, okay, this is a function definition and this is the return value, right? Fine. Now, I don't want index. Let me delete this and make it simple. Yes. Now let us see the preview. Got it. Now, what I want is I want to store this in a variable, in the same variable. I'll apply this map function, cut it, paste it here. So map function is applied to this expression. This expression returns array of products, right? And I store this entire thing in products. Now this variable product itself is containing mapped data. All right. Now I have array of objects. Array of objects. How to construct a single object from array of objects, you know, right? If I want to construct one object, using array of objects. See, this is empty objects. Inside this, if I keep array, no, it is an error. If you want to construct one object from array of objects, you have to write it like this in evaluation parenthesis, right? See, I constructed one object and these are the keys and values. Fine. Now I'll convert it to XML. It is giving me an issue because whenever you are emitting an XML, key is mandatory. So I will give the key as products colon. See, the root tag is products and this is each product. Okay, right click and edit sample data. Hey, what this is my input. I'm able to convert this input XML to this output XML. Very nice, is it? Good. So we understood how to actually iterate over an array by using map and how to map it. And also, once we get an array of objects, how to actually construct a single object using array of objects and then finally convert it to XML. Good. So fine is I want all the products to be sorted based on original price. If you see, original price of the first product is 1,000, 3,000, again 2,000. I want all the products to be sorted. So let me just show you. Again, I'll convert this output to DW. Always when we are developing, it is convenient to see the output of our expression in DW format. Okay. Now what I will do is I'll just simply use the variable products. I have array of objects. I want to sort the object based on original price. Sort means ordering. Already we have seen order by function, is it? Order by. So what this order by requires, if I press control click, there are two order bys, overloaded order bys. This order by is taking first argument as an object. No, I don't want it. I want to use one more order by which takes first argument as an array, right? Second argument to order by is a function which will take item comma index, and the return value of this function should be a comparable object based on which order by function will use for ordering. So let us go back. Order by I will use order by. Second argument, see, first argument is an array. Second argument is a function which will take item comma index, and I want it to be ordered based on the original price, right? So what? Item dot product dot original price. See, actually I'm iterating over this variable, not the original payload. So in this key is product, item dot product dot original price. See, do I see first product is 1,000, second also is 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. So all the products are sorted based on the price, and the price is in ascending order, 1,000, 1,000. And I hope you remember in our last session also, if you want to reverse the order, descending order, as this original price is a number, I can just reverse the sign so that you can see that the products are in descending. First product price is 5,000, 4,000, 3,000, like this. So now practically I showed you how order by can be used to sort elements inside an array. Okay, very good. Now, once you have understood order by, let me show you I want a product whose price is minimum price. So if you want to get an element which is with minimum value, what you can do is you can use a function called as min by. Okay. See, in my mind, I am blank. I understood that there is a function called as min by, but how to use it, I don't know. I will control click on this and see first argument to min by is an array. Second argument is a function which will take item of that array and returns a comparable object. Right. Okay. Here. The second argument to min by is a function which will take item and it should return a comparable object. I'll write item dot product dot original price. Okay. So let us see whether I got the output or not. Yes. Did I get a product with minimum price? Yes. But when I wrote this expression, I'm getting one issue found. I saw the output preview. Even if I run also, I will get the same output. But here I'm getting an issue found. What is it saying? Expecting array of t, but got null. Actually, during compile time, it wants to ensure that the first argument is an array. So actually what I can do is, whenever I'm creating a variable, can I say like this entire expression as array? See, I actually told that this variable will be containing an array. Now this error is gone. Is that? Otherwise, if I don't write this as array, the compiler will show an error saying that it might be possibly having null. But I'm casting it, typecasting it. Once I say as error, it will assume that at runtime also it will be an array. Now there is no issue. So now from an array, if I want to select an element with minimum value, I can use min by. So I got a product with minimum original price. I can similarly use max by. I'll get a product with maximum original price. Right? Now coming to one more interesting thing. I have a lot of products. Okay, let me just comment out this part. Assume that in every product, there will be some unique property to identify whether normally we know that the product ID will be unique, is it? Let's assume that in the incoming data, it is possible that same product ID might be there. Here, there are two products whose product ID is 1. Based on the input, I changed here also for another product. So I know that there might be some duplicate elements in this array. How do we identify an object as duplicate? Based on some property, right? Maybe here in this case, product ID can be used for identifying whether this product is duplicate or not. Product ID is 1, product ID is 1. But brand name is different in this case, okay? There should be some way to identify uniquely, right? So assume that PID is a 1. Now, how to eliminate duplicates? I can use something called as distinct by. Let us see, I'll control click on this distinct by. See, second argument is a function which will take item comma index, and actually this function should return based on what value or based on what key you want to identify it as duplicate. So what I can do is second argument, I know it's a function which will take item comma index. So I will try to give like this. Second argument is a function which will take item comma index and let it return. I want this string by item dot product dot PID. Let us see the preview right now. Do you see that PID1 and next is PID3? There is no duplicate product. We eliminated it. So we just have to tell the distinct by function. Second argument to distinct by is a function which will take item comma index. And we have to tell, we have to return by using what we want to identify an object as unique. So I eliminated duplicate, right? So like that, we can use distinct by. Now, you already know how to use filter. I just commented now. So assume that I want to see only Apple products. There are 2 Apple products by brand name. I want to filter out products by brand name. How? I know filter function, filter. We have used this filter earlier also. Let me tell you what this filter function takes. First argument is, second argument is a function which will take item comma index and should return a boolean. If this function returns true for a particular item, then it will be there in the output array. Else it will not be there. So coming back, second argument is a function which will take item comma index, and I want to filter based on brand name Apple. So I want to say item dot brand name is equals to Apple. So only for any item where this criteria is satisfied, those items will be present in the output. Oh, item dot brand name is equals to Apple. There is nothing. Let me comment out this part. Okay, item dot product dot brand name. Each item is having product under that brand name. So that's a good mistake which I did. So item dot product dot brand name. Now I got only Apple product. Fine. Now we don't want a hard code. We want to actually make this brand name dynamic. So let's assume that I'm expecting a query parameter. Query params according to here is present here, right? So what I can do, can I write an expression here? Attributes dot query params dot brand. I'm expecting a query parameter called as brand, and I wrote an expression like this. So my filter function will return true only if the query parameter brand name is matching the current brand name. So now you can see that since I used expression here, I don't see the preview. If you want to see the preview by giving a sample, what you can do is you can right click here on attributes and edit sample data for attributes. Okay, this is sample data for HTTP request attributes. Here query params, can I pass brand? And I want to pass brand as Apple. Now I gave sample data for attributes dot query params dot brand. I gave Apple. Now I can see all Apple products, right? So now you understood how to do filtering as well. Okay, now we'll continue from the same part in next video. This video is becoming lengthy. Let us continue in next video.